What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay. Free Friday here, man. Always trying to get some cash. Love breaking down the NBA games for all my guys in the chat, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We appreciate your time as well. You don't have to be here watching the show, but you are. We appreciate it. I'm your host, Jay Money. We got our guy Tony Mejia with us from Wager Talk. Tony, how you doing today, my brother? Everything cool with you?
I'm doing great. How about you, bro?
Everything's cool with me, man. Just looking over these NBA games, just trying to get to some cash, man. Like I say, guys, if you'd like to become a member as well, the channel, shout out to my guy Mark as well, the newest member of the channel. If you'd like to, there are some exclusive shows, at nightly shows, and also kind of have like somewhat a little Discord on YouTube as well, guys. So in the community chat, if you are a member, I've been posting plays in there, posting info in there as well, guys. So head over to the community tab to see those posts for the members, guys. I shout out to De'Ara, man. I went to high school with her, man. Shouts out to De'Ara, man. I appreciate you. But it's all business here on the show, Tony. Let's go ahead and get over these games and get out of here, man. Let's head over here to the streets of Detroit here, guys. We got the Pistons the Pistons land the favorite here. Pistons land a point here at the house versus the Charlotte Hornets in this one, Tony. This total is sitting at 241 in this one. We know the Pistons just got home yesterday. They were stuck in Dallas for like 3 days, but they were practicing. So first, they've had 3 days off. It's a really tough game to bet. You basically find out who wants to lose it more. Tony, how you looking at this game?
Yeah, man, this is a game that I will pass on, completely. Just no real feel for either team. Charlotte had not updated their injury report, but you figure that some of their more brittle players, maybe a Gordon Hayward, would sit tonight's game out. So really not a game that I want any part of whatsoever. I mean, these are two teams, like you said, that are out to lose, and we'll see what lottery luck they get.
Yeah, no, that's facts right there, man. I'm still never taking the Pistons as a favorite. That's just not happening. They're sitting at 13 wins. We've seen them tank games away as well. Basically, I mean, they don't want to win. This is a tough game to bet. I know I'm only looking towards Hornets, but like Tony said in that one, man, definitely want to wait to see if they're going to arrest Hayward or someone like that. But I know me personally, put like this, simply put, the way that the Hornets have been playing lately, I'd be surprised if they want to lose again. They look like they're trying to build to the future, in my opinion. They're not many games back. They could actually still make it. For a second there, it kind of looked like they really wanted to. So just in recent form period, I can only look towards the Hornets in this game. They are 3-1 ATS last 4 games, and the Pistons only 2-8 straight up, 3-7 against the spread last 10 games, guys. So leaning Hornets first half, full game in that one. Probably wait to see who's going to play in that one. But like I say, I'm only looking towards the Hornets in that one. I did not agree with the Pistons being a 1-point favorite. It's mainly because the Hornets are on a back-to-back, and the Pistons have the rest advantage. Let's head over here to the streets of Washington, D.C. here, Tony. We got the Wizards here, land 4 points at the house versus the Portland Trailblazers, my brother. How you looking at this one?
Yeah, Jeremy Grant questionable for this one.
He's in.
The Blazers have been up and down for the most part, so I'm not surprised that the Wizards are favored here. They've been playing pretty good basketball. I'm a little bit surprised that they've kind of taken off a little bit, got Porzingis back in the mix. So he's playing well. Bradley Beal came back, probably 10 days ago, and he's been solid. I mean, they've won 6 straight and covered in all 6 of them. The under is on a 4-2 run. So, I mean, they're consistently getting stops, playing pretty solid defense. And, most of that success has come on the road. Won 4 straight on the road. It's San Antonio, New Orleans, Houston, Dallas. So, I mean, they outside of the Mavericks, they haven't really beaten great teams, but they've been taking care of business. And they handled the Magic by 20 in their last home game on January 21st. So this is their first game at home in the friendly confines of their building since then. So, their fans should be enthused by what they've been able to establish of late.
Yeah, that's a good point, bro. Our guy Blockrich in the chat says Jeremy Grant coming home, looking towards his points. Jeremy Grant is available in this game. The Wizards are 6-0 straight up and against the spread last 6 games. This is the first game of back-to-back. They do have a triple revenge spot with the Nets on deck for tomorrow, but obviously it's a much bigger game, much winnable game as well, man. Blazers starting to play a lot better, 4-1 straight up last 5 games. Nurkic did get hurt. He's going to be out for a while, but like I say, Jeremy Grant is available, and they didn't seem to miss Nurkic when he went out, man, as well. So they actually played a little bit. I'm not saying that they'll play better this game, but I know in the last game versus the Grizzlies, they, for whatever reason, Nurkic went out to start that game, and they still come back and win that game, man. So super tough spot for me. I know personally, I'm not betting against the Wizards. Now, it's two sides you can look at it. They are rested. Remember, this was the other team they couldn't get out of Dallas as well. So they are rested. Have had 3 days off, but also you worry about the rust factor as well. This team was hot, playing some great basketball. 3 days off sometimes can really sometimes can really get you off your game, guys. So wouldn't be surprised if the Wizards got it done. Super tough game for me to bet. Blazers starting to play a lot better. This is a West Coast team playing on the East Coast here at these early start type of games. So it's a super tough game. I want to lean Wizards in this game, though. I do think they can get it done. I do think they have some matchup advantages in this game as well, guys, especially the size advantage now, because we can't forget, Blazers don't have a ton of size and length, guys, especially coming off the bench. They don't really have a backup center. So this is one where Gafford, Porzingis, they could feast in this game, man. I'd lean Wizards in this game, guys, but definitely too much of a toss-up for me to bet in this one. Look like that total went up as well from last night, guys. Set over here to the streets of Indiana here, Tony. Got the Pacers here getting 3.5 points at the house versus the Sacramento Kings in this one, my brother. Total sitting at 235. It was at 240 last night. It's since come down to 235. How are you looking at this game?
Yeah, I mean, this would be a fantastic spot to ride Sacramento, except for no De'Aaron Fox tonight. He's sitting out due to personal reasons. Now, I don't mind Davion Mitchell. It's just a different look when he's out there. More of a defensive-minded point guard. Certainly, it could throw off a T.J. McConnell. We'll see. But I mean, this ideally would have been a great Sacramento spot, coming off of a nice win on the road in San Antonio after splitting those games in Minneapolis against the Timberwolves. This is a momentum spot. There's no game tomorrow for the Kings. So really, if Mitchell plays well, they should be able to keep on motoring. Obviously, the Pacers played last night in a tough game against the Lakers that they fell just short in. So really, it's Sacramento or bust for me. But again, no De'Aaron Fox, gives you some pause.
Yeah, facts right there. Yeah, no De'Aaron Fox in this one. Line's going up from 3.5. The biggest thing on this one, man, is Halliburton. I'm sitting here right before the show. I'm watching the post-game interview, just trying to get anything from Halliburton. I didn't hear anything about him being out, but obviously him coming back from injury on the back-to-back, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Halliburton is out. This is one that we kind of just have to wait to see if he's in or out. Obviously, he's the most important player in this game. I want to take Pacers early in this one if Halliburton is in there. They're still pissed from the game from last night as well. They talked about in the post-game interview where they got no foul calls. They basically only called one foul call for the Lakers in the fourth quarter in that game, guys. So I know they only scored 15 points, but they were kind of alluding to like, hey, man, we were getting fouled. See what I'm saying? I want to take Pacers here. I think the Pacers, simply put, they've lost 11 out of their last 12 games, 1-9 straight up, and 2-8 against the spread last 10 games. If the Pacers want to make the playoffs, or even want to sniff it, because remember they were sitting at like the number 5th seed. Now you got to get to a point where it's like, all right, some must-win games, and that's all I'm hearing out of the post-game interviews as well, is that they got to get off this losing streak and ASAP. And they pissed that they lost the game last night as well, so they're obviously at the rest disadvantage. But I'd still lean Pacers here. Obviously, got to wait for Halliburton. If Halliburton's in there, I like Pacers first quarter, first half, and I think they can win the game as well, man. But obviously, if Halliburton is out, I still think they can get it done. But the line is probably going up to -6. You see what I'm saying? So let's see what happens with Halliburton. I know me personally, I'm only looking towards the Pacers in that game. It could be a nice little under spot as well. Without Fox and Elwin, we know guys like Davion Mitchell gonna be playing some defense in this one. So I'd lean the under in that one as well. I agree with that move coming down from 5 whole points last night, and I want to find some type of way to hop on the Pacers with that one. Just got to figure out what's going on with the main player for them. No
injury report submitted yet as of the 12:30. So keep an eye out on that one.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. So when they're on a back-to-back, they don't even have to. It's so unfair, man. They don't even have to submit the
so later in the day.
Fucking corrupt, man. But they can start. Let's go over here to the street. We decide to bet this shit, right? So it's up on us, guys. But it's only gonna get harder from here on out. Let's go over here to the streets of Boston. Here, got the Celtics landing 9.5 points at the house versus the Phoenix Suns in this one. Tony, Celtics coming off a game where they were up 30 points in the first quarter, couldn't miss anything. They were shooting 75% in that first half. Do you think that they keep it going here today in back-to-back home games?
Well, the Suns certainly have no momentum going for them. They lost by 32 at home to the Hawks. Snapped a 2-game winning streak for them with a thud. Devin Booker's still out. At this point, you think Phoenix is going to probably make a move here. The February 9th trade deadline, the Jay Crowder issue that has been, the the case all season where they couldn't get on the same page in terms of him being in the starting lineup, him being a part of a team that he played such a key pivotal role. You figure that that shoe is going to drop here shortly. They've had injury issues. Obviously, Booker's been out. So, really a team that has not been able to establish much momentum, and they're facing their only trip to Boston tonight on the season. I mean, it's clearly Celtics or bust for me. Celtics have had their 3-game losing streak earlier to end December to end January. Then they beat the Lakers in a huge performance there, and started February off on the right foot with a 139-96 blowout of Brooklyn. So they're probably going to continue to play well here going forward up until the All-Star break.
Yeah, it's a good point, man. I don't like the spot for the Celtics here, in my opinion, man. I'm only looking towards the Suns. I agree with the line coming down as well from 10 to 9.5. I don't usually like to back teams coming off a huge win. So first off, I like to back teams that's coming off a blowout loss, and on the other side, I like to somewhat fade a team that's coming off a super hot game where they were making everything right. So you have the Suns here. This is a revenge spot. They lost 98 to 125 in Phoenix earlier this year on December 7th. They did have Devin Booker still and still got smacked up. But that's obviously when the Celtics were in their groove. They are 4-0 against the spread last 4 games after a 10 or more point loss as well. So the Suns bounced back coming off blowout losses. They are 8-3 against the spread last 11 in Boston, and 10-4 against the spread last 14 meetings as well. Like I say, Celtics coming off that huge blowout win. They couldn't miss a shot. Before that, they were 0-6 against the spread before they covered the last game. Personally, I think the Celtics just absolutely own the Nets. Obviously, this isn't the Nets, and the Suns can play a lot better defense as well. I think the 9.5, 10 points is too many in my opinion, guys. I hadn't got there, but I want to take Suns here plus the 9.5. Could the Celtics turn into superhumans and blow them by 20 points, 30 points again? It could happen, but I don't think the Nets weren't playing any sticky defense in that game. The Suns, guys like Bridges, they're going to be playing some defense, and it would be nice if they had Shaman out there. Chris Paul also is going to slow this game down as well. That's one thing the Nets tried to do. You can't be running and gunning with the Celtics. Slow the game down, make it methodical. That's exactly what the Suns going to do. I'd lean Suns plus a 9.5 there. I believe the Suns are the right side in this game, guys, plus a 9.5. Set over here to the streets of Houston here, guys. We got the Houston Rockets getting 7.5. They're not laying 7.5, getting 7.5 points at the house versus the Toronto Raptors in this one, Tony. Now, this spread as well, man. I believe it was like 230, 229 last night. It's down to 225 in this one, my brother. How you looking at this one?
Well, I mean, for starters, we're in another game without their starting backcourt. Green again is going to miss another game, and obviously Kevin Porter Jr. has been out for at least a week. Jabari Smith Jr. is questionable for this one. We'll see if he plays. Jayshawn Tate is available. But this has been a new look for the Houston without their guards who monopolized the ball. Şengün even missed that Pistons game that they were able to steal after going down by 14 early in that first quarter. I was on Detroit in that game and really was disappointed by the Pistons' second quarter effort, and then in the second half, Houston played right with them. Eric Gordon really taking advantage of his increased opportunities now that he's being asked to really shoulder the scoring load with no Green and no KPJ. So, I mean, this is a new look Rockets squad, and the Raptors are without OG Anunoby, their top defender. He's dealing with an issue that will keep him out at least another game. So, I mean, look, it's a Toronto spot for me, but certainly Houston's been playing well despite losing their guards, have won consecutive games and covered both of them.
Yeah, no, it's phase, man. I'm only looking Raptors. I know the Houston Rockets took our money last game versus the Thunder. I think that was more on the Thunder selling that shit, man. Rockets did exactly what they do, man. They come out first quarter, first half, hot, and then in the second half, what happened in the third quarter versus Thunder? Before you know it, Thunder up 6 points, and they had totally turned the game. The only thing that pissed me off, before you know it, they let the Rockets go like on a 10-0 run, man. Then they were back up 5. I really think that was more on the Thunder, in my opinion, man. So the Raptors, if you need a win, I mean, you're facing up against the Rockets here. You can't lose this game if you're the Raptors. Now, I'll be honest, guys. There's a lot of sketchiness going on with the Raptors because their top 3 players are, I mean, possibly getting traded. They basically saying anybody can be traded other than Scotty Barnes, man. So I worry about that somewhere around this time to trade deadline, but I agree with the move up. This line was at 6. Some 5.5s out there last night. It was a 5.5 at DraftKings last night, but it was 6s out there last night. It's up to 7.5 this morning. I agree with it, man. The Raptors are 4-1 straight up last 6 games versus the Rockets, guys. 5-2 against the spread last 7 games after a straight up loss as well. This is the 6th straight road game for the Raptors, but they do need a win, man. Rockets off 2 straight wins. What are we doing? Is this their longest win? Now they did go like on a 5-6 game win streak earlier, but they probably won't have Jabari Smith Jr. in this one, guys. So maybe that's why the line ticked up. I don't think so. They're already out Green, Porter Jr. Now Jabari Smith Jr. has a hit pointer, and they have a game tomorrow. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he is ruled out. I actually expect him to be out, likely down 3 starters, man. Rockets still only 3-11 against the spread last 14 games, and 2-5-1 ATS last 8 coming off a win, guys. So I still think the Rockets are a fade, man. I'm sorry. I know that they cashed the last game, home games, but first game back-to-back, I still think the Raptors smoke them here. The line got a little bit too high for me at 7.5, but I'll be honest, I still think they get it done. This should be the Raptors should get there with the double trifecta, man. For this ain't a game where I see the Rockets coming out hot. The Raptors have way too much defense for them as well, and they like to turn teams over. You see what I'm saying? So they get their long, lengthy arms in passing lanes, and if you're turning the ball over for them, it's going to be easy baskets in transition for the Raptors. I think their team totals get there, and I think the Raptors cover the trifecta as well. So those will be my looks on that game. Raptors trifecta spot on the spread and on the team total, man. Regardless if you like the spread or not, I definitely think the Raptors get out running and gunning, turn this Rockets team over, my guys. Easy baskets for the Raptors today inside the paint, my guys. Looking at Raptors and Nelwyn, man. I'm looking at the Raptors and them team totals. Just 1 second, man. Let me look at the team totals real quick. So let's see. First half for the Raptors, you got 60. Hell no, sir. No, sir. 30.5 for first quarter team total over. First half is 60. The full game is sitting at 116.5, 117 for the Raptors, man. I do like the first quarter, first half team totals a little bit more, man. I'm gonna have to hop on that shit right after the show, man. Let's head over here to the streets of Minnesota here, Tony. You got the Wolves laying 4.5 points at the house versus the Orlando Magic in this one. It was at 5.5 last night, down to 4.5 for the Wolves, and this was somewhat a little sandwich spot. How you looking at this one?
Yeah, the Magic were able to win that first game of this road trip in Philadelphia. They were down for most of the first half, and then in the second half they were able to turn things around, ended up winning by 10. And then obviously the Sixers in a revenge spot were able to win by 11 the other night to kick off February. So the Magic now continue this road trip in Minnesota, and then they'll head back east to face Charlotte before returning home next week. To me, I think the line is a little short. I thought it was going to be a little higher than this. Timberwolves haven't been favored since January 23rd. So it's been a 5-game stretch where they've been a dog against the Grizzlies, the Kings in 2 games, and then the Warriors, and they've won 3 of those 4 outright. So playing well, I would have thought that they'd be a higher favorite than they are right now. But Orlando's getting a little bit of respect. I think the line's a little short. I would at this point say Minnesota is the play for me, but I'm probably not touching this one.
Yeah, huge look-ahead spot, huge sandwich spot for the Timberwolves in this one. They are coming off an overtime win versus the Golden State Warriors, guys. Now they're facing an Eastern Conference team that they've already beat. And guess who they have on deck? The Denver Nuggets as well. So this is a horrible spot motivation-wise, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, Anthony Edwards, I feel like if you like the Wolves in this one, take Anthony Edwards, at least the points. Maybe I'm not going to just say threes, but take Anthony Edwards points, because if Wolves do take this game serious, it's because Anthony Edwards is pissed because he didn't make the All-Star break. Now, the quotes come out saying he doesn't care as long as they make the playoffs, which that's a real one right there. Nobody wants to go play a damn All-Star game in bumfuck Salt Lake City anyway. But sorry, regardless of that, man, I think the Magic are the side in this one. I agree with it coming down from 5.5 to 4.5. Let's see if it's any 5s out there. Regardless, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the Magic win this game, guys, in all honesty. So, yeah, it's down to 4.5 across the board now. It's even a 4 out there at the sharpest book, one of the sharpest books in Circa, guys. So, Magic, the only way that I can look at this game, I really agree with it coming down from 5.5 to 4.5. I actually think the Magic might win this game. If you've been watching them, this is a really sneaky, pesky type of team, man. And if Gobert doesn't play, it'll be easy baskets down low all game, man. So if you like the Wolves, maybe wait on Gobert and that one. But me personally, I think the Magic can get it done with or without Gobert. Huge look ahead spot to the Nuggets in the next game, guys. Last
Rudy
game
was out against Golden State too, so I mean it would be a Naz Reid spot potentially again.
Yeah, facts right there. Facts. Yeah. Look, I feel like they can get it done a little bit better versus Golden State running a small ball. Whereas the Magic, they have five guys that are 6'10" or more. No Gobert tonight would really hurt them with the size and the rebounding, guys. Last game up. We're going to the streets of Utah here. We got the Jazz, laying a point and a half at the house versus the Hawks, Tony. They've beat this is where the All-Star game is at as well. They've beaten the Hawks 6 straight times. Do you think they make it 7 straight tonight?
I mean, look, I think this is going to be the more entertaining game of the night, and you know, they both posted lopsided wins last time out. They're both shooting the ball well. So I mean, I gave out a lean as on the total on this. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. We've seen Kessler really step up for the Jazz, and as far as the Hawks, I mean, they're playing pretty good basketball on the road. You know, leaving some of those issues that they had in January behind them. I mean, they're playing better than they have for a minute.
Yeah, no, that's facts right there, man. Yeah, I want to take Hawks here, guys. And I got an interesting angle in this game. So no one on the Hawks made the All-Star game. You know what happened the last time that shit happened? They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same team makeup-wise, mentally-wise, especially with all the trade rumors, but I feel like they can match up with the Jazz. They've lost 6 straight to the Jazz as well. So at some point, you got to look at yourself like, damn, are we going to – obviously, this is a different Jazz team. Are we going to keep losing to these guys forever? The Hawks are coming off a game where they absolutely smoked the Suns. And that one, man. So Jazz, they have a lot better offense than the Suns, but you got to admit that the Jazz defense isn't as good. They got Markkanen and Kessler down low, but I think Capella could be a nice little equalizer here, man. I want to take Hawks here, man. Simply put, they're lost 6 straight to the Jazz, man. It's time to end the skid, guys. It's really that simple, man. So, and on the other side as well. So if you didn't make the All-Star game, the All-Star game is in this freaking arena right here. Turn this motherfucker up. Turn it into the All-Star game right here. I think Trae Young and DeJounte Murray go off in this game, guys. I like the Hawks here, plus the 1.5, guys. That's the only way I'm looking. And I think there's some substance to taking Trae Young and DeJounte Murray props in this one. I really do think that these two might come out there. Now, the All-Star game doesn't mean things to everybody, but you guys like Trae Young, and maybe not as much as DeJounte Murray, but I think there are a couple players that's going to be pissed in this one. I like the matchups for him as well. I think the Hawks get it done and end that 6-game losing streak to the Utah Jazz in this one, guys. Let's go over here and get to some free picks, man. It's time to end the show here, Tony. Let the people know what you got going over at Wager Talk, how you been doing, and any free picks for us today on the show.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a heater with our 5% max plays. I've hit the last 3. I was on that Alabama Vanderbilt game midweek. 101-44 was the final, so that was. I mean, we love games like that where we don't have to do much after tip off. Just kind of watch the show. So in that regard, things have been going really well. Another week before the Super Bowl, so we'll really lock in on the big game next week. But a huge weekend in college basketball. We got North Carolina and Duke tomorrow. NBA obviously tonight and this weekend. It's funny too because we'll get the Super Bowl followed by the NBA All-Star game the weekend after that. I don't think that's ever happened before because the scheduling issues that we've seen this season. So I mean, look, it's going to be a humongous February. Join me over at Wager Talk. Free pick tonight. You just mentioned it. I think DeJounte Murray is the way to go in this game tonight. Over 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists in the game in Salt Lake City.
I liked it, guys. I did not talk about Sixers and Spurs, guys. First off, I'm not saying I don't think you can bet the game. You can take whatever you want, but such a low profile game. Personally, I don't think that Embiid will play. So that's just my take on the game. Simply put, I feel like you wait until the injury report in this one, but Embiid questionable every single game. Seems like he's been playing versus the big teams, versus the Spurs here. He could go off for 50. So if he wants to stat pad, he can play. But personally, I don't think that Embiid will play. Sorry, but yeah, nothing for me on the Sixers and Spurs games, guys. So for me today, man, guys, like I say, this is just my advice. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm looking at today is Hornets first half and full game. Got to make sure who all is playing in that one, man. But Pacers as well. First half, full game. Got to see what's up with Halliburton. Unfortunately, today is somewhat like wait and see, man. But some that I would bet right now, I do like the spot for the Hawks tonight, guys. I do like the spot. They've been playing a little bit better as well, especially on the road. We know that they have all the motivation in the world and could sense a little letdown from guys like Markkanen as well that finally made the All-Star team as well. So some of these guys that finally made it, they might have a little letdown, man. I like the Hawks plus the 1.5. I like Trae Young's points. I like that play from Tony as well. DeJounte Murray over points, PRA. Magic plus the 4.5 would be a spot as well. Raptors, even at the 7.5, I still like it. I think and this is a game where I don't think the Rockets come out as well. I think that the Raptors actually have the much better chance early to come out this one with them being on six road games. You got to come out and smack the Rockets early. So I do think this will be a trifecta spot for the Raptors. I do think that they cast their trifecta spot on the team totals as well. Lean Suns plus the 9.5 as well versus Celtics. No one's going to want to take the Suns today. Everybody's going to want to take the Celtics, but the line is coming down. Heavy lean to the Suns for me. Like I say, Pacers waiting on Halliburton. Hornets waiting to see if they're going to try and rest LaMelo Ball or Hayward or something like that. I fully believe Hornets are going to get that win today, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. I will be live 6:15 Eastern from the sportsbook, man, giving out whatever I've bet today, all the sharp info, college basketball info, all that good stuff, my guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button if you like the show, man. If you're a member, go check out the community tab as well, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're not a member yet, it's only $3.99 a month. Some exclusive night shows as well. And like I say, we got the community chat over there on YouTube as well, man. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we out, man. Let's get some cash.